Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
What happens when you are a super talented, creative, intelligent, beautiful woman who has dreams and wants to move them forward? You act on them. Welcome to Iconic Women. I am very thrilled and excited to welcome our special guest, Sophie Karl'S, who has a beautiful announcement that she's going to share with us about her work. She's a producer, she's an actress, and she is someone who really leads with integrity and with honesty and commitment to putting something out there for people to enjoy and celebrate. Let's welcome Sophie to the program. Welcome. Hello.
Hi. I can't actually hear you right now. Ooh, of course,
Oh,
there
no,
had
I
to be
hate
a
when that
little
happens.
bug somewhere.
Okay, well, Sophie is going to do that. I'm going to ask Sophie to just leave the show and come back. This happens sometimes. So she'll come back and join us, and hopefully she will have, she'll be able to hear us again. So are you someone who's a creative and you want to get out there? You want to be able to do, let's say, a song or a TV show or a movie? Maybe it's a screenplay, it's a book, it's an animation. Ask yourself, what would it take for you to actually do this? You probably already have the ideas in your head. Maybe you have a network of people you haven't even explored to find out how can people work together and collaborate. You can move forward. You don't need a big team of people. Let's see if Sophie can hear us again. Sophie, can you hear us?
Yay! Hello,
Yay,
I can hear you.
congratulations.
Gosh, it had to happen to me, didn't it?
It's okay. It's live TV. We just roll with it. So, Sophie, what I was sharing with our audience is there are many people out there who have dreams, and yet they don't actually act on the dreams. They think to themselves, she has a dream and she's making it happen, and but it's not for me. When did you know that you were going to take action instead of just knowing what you wanted to do? You were going to do something about it.
Ooh, well, as soon as I came out of my mum, I knew what I wanted to do inside, but I never really came to terms with it in my mind, thinking it was possible. It was over a period of time, over a period of years, that I was a little bit more confident every time. And it actually took a few big challenges in my life, and for my father to pass away and a couple of other losses which happened around me, to be like, okay, look, Sophie, now there's no more time to mess around. If you got a dream, go for it. It's possible. Just do it now. Life is too short. And that's really the moment where I was like, I will quit everything and give everything to my dream. And here I am today. So, yeah.
Congratulations and all of that. And so you have a launch that is taking place today on Apple TV. I want to share with our audience. And I believe you mentioned that it's launching today in the UK and tomorrow in the States.
Absolutely. Ooh la la, starts with that scene, doesn't it?
Right into it. Tell us about your new project.
So it's a story which is in between the modern times and the Victorian era. It's got a lot of romance in it, a lot of sensuality, as we might have already seen. But it's also got an underlying theme of abuse towards women, which was quite important to me to pass on a message. At the end of the day, I think like film should be used to pass on those strong messages and help maybe people to speak up before it's too late in some ways. But I like to think there's also moments which are a bit lighter, of comedic moments and all that. And we've got a lovely array of actors like Melinda Messenger, Heather Small from the M People, Adam Deacon, who's a BAFTA winner, Nina Nostell. I mean, the man who plays Edward, the leading male, is called Carl Jordan, and he's a fabulous upcoming actor. I mean, I was very, very lucky to be surrounded by such a great team. And yeah, so exciting. So I hope you guys will like it.
Congratulations. That is fantastic. How did you find out about this project?
Well, basically, so I did a lot of it myself. I come from the acting background and I'm still an actress. But I thought, okay, I would love to, to get a little bit higher up and, see where I could get to and all this in life. And I thought, okay, let's make a film. I was going to make a short film with some people around the area. And then my ambition took a little bit over and it just became like a feature-length film. And what happened is I went to this house, a beautiful Victorian house in Sussex. Everything in there is absolutely stunning. It's all from the Victorian era. The couple who lives there have made sure every single object in that house comes from that time. So just walking in there is an experience in itself. And that made me think I need to make a story and include this house. And that's where it all came about. I started writing a story. 1st of January, as you do, you're like, okay, it's a new year. I'm going to try something and go for it. Wrote on 1st of January and within 1 month had the script and then asked a few people if they wanted to get involved. And I was very lucky to have quite a few people who believed in me and were there to support me and said, yes, we will be involved. And that's how it all started. And yeah.
I think one of the most interesting things that you just shared, and by the way, we have on the screen here for people to be able to watch your feature film on Apple TV, they can click this link. For many people, they might think, well, it's only Hollywood celebrities or people from Pinewood Studios that could actually do a film like this and have it be on Apple TV. So you basically are telling us that that's not the case. So what should our audience know if they have a film that they would like to have distributed? How do you actually get on Apple TV?
Well, exactly. It's definitely not a Hollywood film. It's very artsy, and I actually put a lot of money into it myself. And I just was like, I'll just give it a go. And it's made on a very, very, very low budget. It's just made with a lot of people and a lot of belief and hope. And I actually only sent it to one person because I wasn't very confident. I thought, oh, I'm not sure, maybe it doesn't look Hollywood enough, maybe it's not something people will like. And I sent it to one person and that one person said, actually there is something in it, we like it. So then I went from there and I started believing in myself and then found a wonderful sales agent, Relza Films. They are fantastic. Elliot Hassler is the one who is taking care of me in my film. So absolutely go to him if you also have a film which you would like to put out there. And then we've got a distributor, which is Trinity, and they work with 101 Films as well. And there are many, many, many out there. Absolutely. But always just like have a look. I think a lot of people talk about it more and more now on different mediums, different platforms. So there is the information out there. And I'm always happy to answer any questions if it came to it as well.
Thank you for that, Sophie. One of the things that I find so interesting about what you shared is you had an idea, you invested money, you invested time, you put this together, and you sent an outreach to someone, and they said yes. They said, you know what? We see something in this. We love it. Let's do it. Most people will not take action. They will not take one step forward. And you did. And what I'd like to talk about a little bit, because we are on Iconic Women today, is that you also mentioned a level of confidence. Sometimes we have imposter syndrome. We really believe we're not good enough. We don't have what it takes. But actually, we're the ones holding ourselves back. So when you made that outreach and the person said, you know what, we see something in this, we want to do it. Was that the moment that you just said, okay, I am good enough, I am enough, I'm moving forward?
Well, yeah, that was the moment where I said, okay, I'm going all in now. You know, there's no point hiding anymore. There's always going to be people who are going to be all for you, people who are going to be against you. Even people who are all for you can be against you behind your back as well. That was something I've had to learn along the way, which is very difficult, especially when you're quite an emotional being. But with all this, you know, past, now it's a different story. It's like, yeah, all in, and confidence can shine. And at the end of the day, you need to be yourself, find yourself. And if you're happy with yourself, as a main thing, that's the most important. And I feel people who resonate with that will be around you and will become a part of your projects and what you're doing and be there for you anyway. So I believe a lot in energy. So put the energy out there and they will be around you and come to you.
I believe that as well. And for our audio audience only, we are now showing your Instagram, which is Sparkling Sophie. I love that 1111. So please do connect with Sophie there. So your film is coming out. It's coming out today in the UK and tomorrow in the United States on Apple TV. Tell us about the process of being not only an actress, but also a producer and maybe even director. You're wearing many hats. How do you do this and come out with a finished product?
Well, you exhaust yourself and you exhaust the closest people around you. It was quite a difficult process, but I feel that when there's a will, you know, you can make it happen. And it was very important for me to like, once you start something, to actually make it happen. So I feel you just have to go on and just do it. So when I went onto set, I just put my actor's hat as much as possible, just checking a little bit and, like, you know, talking with my co-director, Isaac Lawrence, who's also fabulous, by the way, up and coming director. And he was really like flexible and all that, which really helps. He helped keep the set very calm, and he was there as a bit of a rock for me during those scenes, because obviously when I was acting, I really had to be the character as well. And as I was going between modern times and the Victorian era as a character, that was also quite complicated in itself. Always have someone, you know, who looks after your clothes and your jewelry, and who looks at, you know, what's happening when and all that, and keeps note of everything you're doing during the scene, because I've realized that I had probably 15 different costumes. And oh gosh, it can get completely crazy when you're trying to manage everything and have a look beyond the camera and, you know, remember what you were wearing and all that. And obviously when you're working on a small budget, you don't always have the means to have these people to do like everything. Sometimes you've got one person doing a few things behind the scenes and another doing a few things. So yeah, it can get complicated, but I feel that, yeah, if you really want it, you can make it happen.
Which you obviously did. And you mentioned the word budget. And I have found in my career in corporate and also as a business owner, money, while I think of it as energy, to some people is a cause for panic. Oh, I don't have the money. I don't know where the money's coming. I can't do it. I don't have the money. And so you set off to do this. You put your own money into it. And was there a time when you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to spend X number of dollars, and if it goes over X, I'm just going to abandon the project? Probably not, right? You probably felt like, I will find the money. So what I'd like you to just share, especially with women, because many times women feel like they do not know how to manage money and men are better at it. And I don't believe that. So how did you decide, okay, I'm going to spend a certain amount of money, and when we need more money, we'll get it. We'll find it. We'll get investors. I'll raise it. What was that mindset for you?
Well, again, I've got that kind of mindset to make things happen. whatever happens. So whether there's money or not, I just find like, different alleyways, different options, different people who just believe in you enough to be there and say, actually, Sophie, I think I can help you in this way or help you in that way. I think there are always solutions in life. That's something that I really, really believe in. I don't believe in someone saying, look, can't make it happen because there's no money right now. I think with phones, for example, these days, if you don't have the money right now, do something on your phone. Show what you want to portray on your phone. We've got all these facilities, so let's make use of it. And then through that, someone will see something, and then someone will see something, and then it'll come to you. And we're so lucky in this modern world to be able to create things even from home. So once again, I mean, I come from a mindset that anything is possible and you can make anything happen. And yeah, I mean, during the past, I wasn't always like that, but I've always had that stubbornness, of when I start something, wanting to finish it. And it's also because of people I work with, whatever area or sector I've worked with, I just always wanted to make sure that I don't let down the people I'm with. You always let down some people from communication, or maybe they have different expectations. But at least if you commit to doing what you said you'll do, at least you can stay strong in that way. And yeah, just say, no, you've done it, you stuck to it. And even if you go, and I've walked into many walls, like metaphorically, just like, and also really and physically as well. But yeah, just walking and taking one wall, one door, closing on you, constantly. It's fine. The more people say no, in my opinion, the more failures I have, the more I grow, and the more I'm like, no, I'm going to make this happen. I am. And yeah, it's all about the mentality of saying everything is possible.
I feel like we are soul sisters. I feel like you are speaking directly from my heart about how I feel. And by the way, we have people watching from all over the world. So thank you so much for your comments. We do appreciate you. Sophie, you obviously have some scenes that we saw in the movie trailer that involve intimacy. And how did you cast the rest of the people who are going to be joining you, especially the people that you were having intimate scenes with in the film?
Well, most people actually didn't really have any auditions. It was people I had worked with before. It was people, who I had met in some events and all that. And we've had discussions before about everything. Everything was very clear at the beginning before starting the film, what the roles implied. And then we had discussions on set about, what felt comfortable, what didn't. We also had an intimacy coordinator within the scenes where, yes, there is quite a lot of kissing in there. So we did have an intimacy coordinator on set, making sure that myself and whoever was involved was as comfortable as possible. So by intimacy coordinator, it means someone there just making sure everyone's comfortable and having a closed set. So all the other actors who are not needed, or any crew members who are not needed, would go outside the room, and we would just close the door and just have a minimum of people in there. Just to make everybody feel as comfortable as possible. It's always delicate, isn't it, those intimacy scenes? But
Well done. Well done. So Requiem for Desire on Apple TV. How did you come up with the title?
One day I just woke up. It's one of those where I was like, what can I call it? And then a Requiem for Desire just happened.
That's
and I never
incredible.
looked back. I messaged a few people and I said, what do you think? And someone called Stephen Southhouse, who's been a big help as well, in making the film happen. And people were like, yes, there's something about it. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
It's amazing. I want our audience to understand what's actually taking place here. You had an idea, you came up with a title, you created a film, you produced the film, you acted in the film, and you're here today, and the film is launching on Apple TV. I mean, how many people get to take this kind of journey and come in and share it? It's huge. So congratulations to you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
What do you want the viewer to take away from watching the film?
Well, I think if it can touch with you in certain ways, either emotionally, like, they can connect with a film in some ways. As I said, there's quite a strong underlying message about abuse to women as well, which in the film happens in both eras. And it shows that sometimes, it through different lives and everything, the same thing comes back. So we go more into karma and all this and reincarnation and everything if we go on that deeper level. But yeah, I think like if anyone can just get out of seeing this film and just feel slightly different, or that it's impacted them in some way, or remember something from it, or just have that connection. For me, it's all about connection. If it can make you in that moment just feel like you're maybe in a different world and just don't need to think of anything which is happening in the day, or anything which might be like, happening which is not very good in your life right now, or anything. If it can make you disconnect for a while of your real life and be there within it, and that's always a win.
For sure. So it sounds like the film is very relatable. I'm looking forward to watching it when it comes out tomorrow in the US. I have Apple TV. And as a woman whom I really believe is iconic, which is why you are here, what would you like to say to other women who maybe they've done no acting, but they have this creative spirit and they've been told, oh, AI is replacing all these jobs. It doesn't make sense. What are your thoughts about that? I see you shaking your head right away.
I'm like, well, I just say, just do it. And, again, just do it, believe in yourself, and everything is possible when you put your mind to it. And at the end of the day, AI is something which is happening. And, we need to go with the modern world and modern times. It can be useful for certain things, it can be less useful for other things. We need to accept it until a certain degree. But if we can do things without AI within the film industry, for me, it's a massive, massive bonus. And that's something I like to do. I like to keep everything as natural as possible throughout and use real actors and write my scripts myself, or, have wonderful people writing, even like the old fashioned way, on paper and everything. I think those things will never completely disappear. If it comes from the heart, I think us as humans can all connect with something which has really come from the heart. And I'm very hopeful that that will never disappear. And if we all think the same, I think it'll be just fine.
Beautiful world. Sophie, from the moment you had this concept, this title, and this concept, how long did it take before the film was actually produced?
Well, it went quite quickly. Within, like, I think I wrote the script within 1 month.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, when I put my mind to something, I'm like someone who's like, okay, I'm going to wake up every morning and I'm going to do a certain amount of pages, and then I will, yeah, just complete it on that date. So I'm someone, I put myself a goal and I make it happen. And then it went quite quickly. Within, like, literally within 6 months, everything was filmed and all that. But it took longer for it to now be, on somewhere like Apple TV. That is what took a while to do, because there's all the post production of a film which we don't see, which takes a while. And obviously, when you're doing that alone, even though there's wonderful people around me, producing it mainly alone means I have to do all those things. So that means all that time afterwards, checking with the editor, I had to, like, look at the editing myself as well and kick things off on that side to do it in an order that I thought worked. And then I had to work with different editors on this, and then I had to work on, like, fixing some sound. And you've got all these things which no one sees, but it takes months to make those things happen. Then we had, like, a wonderful premiere at the Soho Hotel, which is a beautiful established place in London, and that went very well. And from then, also had to, like, do those emails and try to find those sales agents and those distributors. And once again, because I was mainly producing it, I was very scared to do the wrong thing. I was like, oh no, you know, when you see contracts and all of that, it's not something I was used to doing at all. I'm like, what if I do the wrong thing? And then it came a point where I'm like, look, I'm just going to do it. And whatever happens, I'm going to learn from it and be in no fear of, you know, it could go totally wrong, but I'm just going to do it. And from that point, things were actually much clearer and things actually happened for me. So I think, once again, if you don't have a fear of something going wrong and just go for it, believing in yourself, things will happen.
Sophie, one of the things that's really standing out for me as I listen to you speak is you are not just an actress or producer, you're a business person. You actually are have managed all the aspects of this. And it sounds like you were learning on the job, which I really admire. I did the same. We don't have all the information. But again, these are things that literally keep people at a standstill. Sometimes we just look for any excuse not to do anything. It's like, oh, this could happen, that could happen. But when you really are committed to something like what you just shared, I think it is so exciting. It's so impressive to just listen to the trajectory of going from point A to point B. So my next question for you is, and I'm sure the audience may not even be aware of this, but many times we create something. Let's say someone writes a book and you hire a publishing company, you may lose the rights to the book. And sometimes with film that happens. What did you decide with this particular film? Have you decided to hold on to the rights, or did you sell them? If you can share with us.
I still have the rights. You know, it's not that I wouldn't have sold them or anything, but it just happened in that way. I just made some deals I thought were reasonable within my little knowledge, and you know, again, I just like learned it that way. I think sometimes you just need to dive into it, and just see what happens. But it's good if you keep the rights, right? Like, I think it's always good to make sure you do have that side of things, unless you really know what happens next when you sell the rights. I think, like, when you do that, you really need to know a little bit more about those little details and contracts and all that to make sure everything is done properly. But when you keep the rights, well, you know.
Absolutely. I had to put myself on mute because when you said, yes, you have the rights, I was going to go, hallelujah. That is outstanding information. That is so good that you are holding on to them. So what's your plan? Where will you have it distributed next?
Well, I mean, it's going to go Amazon and worldwide into different places like Tubi and everything. Like, you know, they're still making deals on my behalf. So yeah, future we'll just see. But in the meantime, I'm working on other films as well, because that was kind of a trampoline. Do you say trampoline, or am I going French right now?
That's correct.
A trampoline to like other things, because people have noticed that I was able to make a film and that I'm able maybe to act a little bit, you know. And so that really helped. And now I'm involved in several films, and it's just beautiful to be able to continue on that journey within a sector I never thought I'd be doing. I always thought I'd stay just as an actor. But now the filmmaking journey is just absolutely beautiful. And the teams I'm getting to work with are just incredible. And I'm also starting to work with some Oscar shortlisted crew members and all that, and BAFTA people and all that. And it's just a learning curve every single day. And I've had all the tears, I've had all the, as I said, the emotional distress and all of that. It's come out from making a Requiem for Desire, you know. All of that has gone past, and now it's time to just embrace everything which comes my way, and yeah, continue working with it, that industry. I think it's a passion industry. You need to really be passionate about it to continue making those films, because there are a lot of up and downs and a lot of hours and a lot of work. But once again, if you can dream it, you can make it.
Absolutely, for sure. And I love what you just mentioned about passion. When we are passionate about things, it's not actually work. I know I
Mhm.
am working 7 days a week, holidays, but I don't think of it as work. I absolutely love it. So I would really like for our audience to take a hold of accounting. What are you doing? How happy are you, as opposed to how much money you have? How happy are you? And you, Sophie, look to be very happy to me. You are glowing. A question that I have is, when you are preparing to take on a role, obviously you were very integral in the script writing, but how do you become that character, and how do you let go of the character?
Oof, letting go can be difficult. I mean, for me, I'm very much, I get into the character. So it can be quite dangerous, really. I'm not one of those who comes off of set and I'm the character walking along the street continuously and continuously. But during filming, during my scenes, I do become that person. And I feel I just draw a lot through different experiences. I mean, I've experienced quite a lot in life. I think we all have in different ways. I've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs and a lot of things which have happened along the way, and whatever like the impact they've had positively or negatively, I use that within my characters, and I just do a little research and see what would they be like, and I'm lucky enough to be able to just become that person. I learn the script first so that that's in my mind, and to learn it doesn't necessarily come easy. Some people say, oh, how do you learn your script, like, wow. But actually I just go over and over and over and over and over and over and over until I really know it. And then, like this, when I'm on set, I can play with a character and I can just be more flexible with what the director might want me to do, more flexible with what my acting partners do and interact with them, because acting is also about really listening to your acting partner on set and being able to do that in the character you're playing. And yeah, just hope that people will resonate to maximum. And for me, it's about doing a natural performance as much as possible. So if I can be it and if people can feel it, for me, it's a win.
Thank you for sharing that. I saw an interview recently with Bryan Cranston, who was Breaking Bad, and he was talking about how people continue to ask him about Walter White and that character. And he kind of said, from what I took away from it, he did that, he loved it, and it's over. And now he's moving on. And so you just released this film. It's literally just being released. What is the name of your character, and how long will you hold on to her before you completely embrace another projects? I know you said you're already working on some other things.
Yeah, well, I've had to embrace other projects already. But so about the letting go phase, it can be quite difficult. But generally, I think when you finish being on a set, you have to go for your insanity, especially if a character has quite deep emotions. And in Requiem for Desire, there were some beautiful scenes, but some quite intense scenes as well emotionally. So that really does create some kind of anxiety within you if you stay within the character. On one of the scenes, without saying too much, I mean, again, you do know the underlying topic of it, which is against women, and she does have like those men in her life who are not necessarily very nice to her and who abuse her in certain ways, like mentally and physically and all that. So doing those scenes were pretty tough. Like going home, I was just like, at one point I just couldn't breathe properly, and I'm like, Sophie, no, you need to come out of it somehow. And my way of coming out of it is just listening to a meditation, maybe, putting something on, a podcast, and just trying to focus on something else and to get out of a character. 'Cause some characters are just very powerful like that and just stay within you. But yeah, as an actor, you have to move on to another project, and it's still, I think all the films are a little part of you in some way. She'll always be a little part of me, but it's time to move to the other one and to give 100% focus to the next film.
Thank you for sharing that. What would you like our audience to take away from our show today?
Well, for me, I would say just again, if you dream about something, just do it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anyone say it's not possible. I really think that everything is possible, and always listen to your guts as well. Since I've listened to my guts, things like have been flowing much better. And yeah, you can do it. That's what I want you to remember about this. It's like, you can do it.
What a great way to sum up our show for today. Thank you so much. I also want to share your Instagram for anyone who would like to follow you. Sparkling Sophie 1111. And then, of course, we also have your IMBD. We'll share that as well.
Oh.
And then, of course, we've been sharing this, but Apple TV. If you are in the UK, this comes out today, A Requiem for Desire. And you can see it in the States starting tomorrow. As I mentioned, I will be watching it. So thank you again, Sophie, for being here. And I wish you the best. And I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was so lovely talking to you.
Thank you. You really inspired me. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, my friends, there is an iconic woman if I have ever seen one. I just heard so much passion and drive and commitment. And I want you to take something away from that, because every day that we wake up, remember, not everyone wakes up. We wake up, we get an opportunity to make a choice. And are you choosing love, or are you choosing hatred? Are you sitting in a place of jealousy? Or are you sitting in a place where you're saying, you know what? I'm going to follow my dreams today. I'm going to stop watching social media and other people who are doing things and getting upset about it. And I'm going to do something myself. Because when you do something, when you take a step forward, you're inspiring other people. And let's face it, we're here for a limited amount of time. So why not take that energy that you have, that you may be putting into negativity or not enough? I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. You are enough. You have everything you need inside you right now. The only thing keeping you back is you. So when you change your perspective, when you look at the world and say, thank you for what I have. Thank you for the air in my lungs, for my vision, whatever the case may be. There are people out there who might not be able to see, people who can hear, and they keep going. Look for the positives and then take them and run with them, and take your dreams, put them on a vision board and take action. It's one thing to know something, that you want to do something, but it's another thing to take action. And that's where many of us get tripped up. We don't actually take the steps because we're afraid. But if you don't take the steps and you don't find out, you may be sitting in a place feeling like you're less than, you're not enough, and you're angry. And I don't want that for you. I want happiness and joy. I want peace. We're closing out today, and I just want to say to you, if you are watching on our YouTube channels, we're streaming many places, but we'd love for you to subscribe to our channels, USA Global TV and Radio, and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck over on YouTube. Thank you so much. The last thing I want to say to you is this. Many people out there are doing things out of the goodness of their heart, which we love. I'm a peace ambassador myself. It's wonderful to say yes. It's wonderful to help people. Absolutely. But we have to have boundaries, because if we don't have boundaries, we're giving away all of our value. That's why I wrote this book, Stop Giving Away Your Value, Boundaries, Pricing, and the Business of Respect. Because many times we do so much, we say yes and yes and yes. And then at the end of the day, we're exhausted and we're feeling like, I wish I had some time back. I wish I had drawn a line and set a boundary. So if you're interested, you can learn more in my new book. I'm looking for it right here, the book trailer. Take a look, and thank you again for being with us. Please do reach out to Sophie, and remember, A Requiem for Desire on Apple TV. Watch it, love it. Bye.
How much of your value have you been giving away? Saying yes when the answer should have been no? Lowering your price to secure the opportunity? Giving more while receiving less? Over time, it adds up. Until one moment brings clarity, you've been giving away your value. This is not about working harder. This is not about doing more. It's about boundaries. It's about pricing. It's about respect. From Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck comes a direct and necessary message. Stop over-delivering. Stop underpricing your expertise. Stop negotiating against yourself. Because when you recognize your value, everything changes. Stop giving away your value. Boundaries, pricing, and the business of respect. Available now wherever fine books are sold and on Amazon. A film by USA Global TV and Radio. Executive producer Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Videographer and cinematic production Paul Garcia. Voiceover by Ed Wargas. Stop giving it away. Start owning it.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.